on food additives because I do believe that you are what you eat. According to David Katz, who is the founding father of the Yale University Prevention Research Center, he stated that our bodies are literally manufactured out of the foods that we consume. And this should be an alarming statement for everyone because the foods that are available in the food markets today, they are poisoned with many chemicals and additives that have harmful side effects in our bodies. And in fact, according to loveinformatics.com, the U.S. as a nation consumes over 1 billion pounds of chemicals a year. So it's very unfortunate that we are feeding the young children and the elderly with food chemicals which they will manufacture their bodies out of. So in order to solve the problems associated with food additives, I propose that the FDA enforce stricter restrictions on the approval of food additives and that they forego the voluntary and self-regulatory regulations performed by the food industries themselves. And I also propose that they ban many of the food additives that have already been banned in other countries as well. And to support this proposal, in my speech today, I will establish the following things. I will prove that the use of food additives is of serious threat to our health. I will explain my proposed plan of the FDA enforcing stricter restrictions. I will show that my plan will be an effective one, and then I will illustrate that the benefits of this policy greatly outweigh its relatively very few costs. So the use of food additives is a serious threat to the well-being of the citizens of the U.S. because the problem with food additives is that they're used mainly to benefit their own profit needs, not the benefit of the consumers. Food additives such as preservatives are used to prevent the deterioration of foods. And according to the article Fancy a Bite, a Big Mac that was purchased in 1999 didn't go bad even after a period of 14 long years. And even a personal testimony from a food industry insider, Bruce Bradley, he stated himself that food companies like to pretend that they are your friend and partner in healthy eating. But this couldn't be further from the truth. The reality is food companies are first and foremost concerned with profits. And many studies show that food additives actually cause numerous health problems in our bodies. According to the article, Top 12 Dangerous Food Additives, sodium nitrate, which is used in most of our processed meats, is actually very toxic and has been proven to be carcinogenic. And overconsumption of aspartame, which is used in most of the low-calorie snacks available today, they have been known to cause migraines, vision loss, seizures, and even Parkinson's disease. And food colorings like blue number 1, red number 40 are carcinogenic and can cause ADHD in children. So the main source of the problem is that the FDA is not fully performing its duties by ensuring that the foods that we are consuming are safe. And in 2010, the Government Accountability Office reported that the FDA is not ensuring the safety of many of the chemicals that we are consuming daily. According to sustainable.org, there's actually very little oversight for many of the additives in processed foods. So currently, the FDA is using the moniker GRAS, which refers to generally regarded as safe, to regulate food additives, and this designation process is actually voluntary. And so the substances, they don't have to be affirmed GRAS unless the companies themselves want to. And according to Dr. Michael Hansen, he says that many of the additives in our foods are never even tested. So now that you see that food additives are harmful for our bodies and that the lack of a strict regulation on their use is a growing problem, I will now propose a solution to this problem. I propose to mainly advocate a stricter restriction on the approval of food additives by the FDA. According to foodadditives.org, currently the determination of GRAS, or generally regarded as safe, does not require FDA action. So if a petition is submitted for GRAS affirmation, even if the affirmation has not been granted yet, the substance can still be used in our foods before FDA even approves of them. And I also propose that GRAS designation be made mandatory and not voluntary. So GRAS designation cannot be self-regulated by the food industries themselves because they will be motivated by profit needs, and that the GRAS designation should only come from the FDA. So next in my proposal, I will ban certain additives that have already been banned in other countries. According to Food Matters FTD, potassium bromate is banned in countries like China and Canada already because they're linked with kidney damage, cancer, and nervous system damage. And preservatives like BHA and BHT have already been banned in Europe and Japan because they were linked to cancers and tumors. And growth hormones, which are found in milk, such as RDST and RDGH, have already been banned in Australia and Japan because they have linked to increasing tumors. So in my proposal, I will ban additives such as these. So, if such a policy is to be implemented, this would have significant results because it would significantly decrease many of the health issues present in our society today, and thus improve the well-being of the nation. So my policy will result in a healthier diet in all of the people in the U.S., which will have significant results. Because according to Dr. Katz, poor diet has alone accounted for 700,000 premature deaths in 1990. Thus, by enforcing my policy will encourage healthier diet by banning many of the food additives and will prevent such premature deaths. Enforcing harsher restrictions and banning certain additives will be effective because, as Dr. Katz states, he states the longer the ingredient list, the more room there is for manufacturing mischief. The costs of my proposal are minimal, while its benefits are numerous. Because the cost of my proposal mainly applies to the food manufacturers, companies will not be able to use certain additives they have been using for profit reasons. And the consumers will also be affected because they might not be able to find the appetizing and appealing foods they have been able to before. Yeah, foods might look less appealing and last for shorter periods of time, but the benefits of this proposal are greater than its cost. The health problems that are present in our society will decrease, and the consumption of food additives will also decrease. I believe that the health and well-being of this nation should come before profit-making of the food industries, and thus I argue that the benefits of this proposal that are applied to the citizens should outweigh the costs of this proposal, which are mainly aimed at the profit-hungry industries. So today I have shown that the use of food additives is a serious threat to our health. Then I presented a plan that would placate these problems. I also demonstrated that my proposal is an effective one. Lastly, I proved that the benefits of this proposal by far outweighs its minimal cost. Thus, I believe that food additives, which are present in all the foods that we consume daily, are a threat to our health, and is a problem that should be addressed.